All right, just a quick video this morning. Just wanted to acknowledge this article from J.D. Hall. He is quitting polemics, and I read the whole article. I suggest you read it as well, and it's really good stuff. I think it takes a wise person to know when it's time to walk away. And, people that kind of know me personally, at least on some level, know that I've been, kind of contemplating this myself. Like, when is enough enough, right? Like, when is it time to just stop making videos and to focus on other things? And I've thought a lot about this. I'm not quitting just yet, but I want to make sure that I'm capable and able to stop when it's time to stop. And so it's just nice to see someone who's kind of thought this through and has been at this a lot longer than I have. And it's just nice. I like it. And I wish, Jordan nothing but the best. And it certainly seems like he's very content with this decision. And it seems like a really good decision. So God bless you, sir. God bless you. I'll be praying for you and your church and your efforts going forward as far as filling sandbags and digging moats. If you don't know what I'm talking about, read the article because he explains it in the article. So one thing I wanted to just say, just kind of, not really in tribute, but sort of, is that I have had an increasing number of conversations over the last few years, especially recently, about you, Jordan, and my opinions on you. And I think that a lot of people are almost looking for permission to be like, I heard a lot of things about how Jordan is basically the devil, and I don't think they're true. And like people ask me about my opinion of you, almost like in a way to like is it okay to like Jordan? Is it okay to like Protestia and all this kind of stuff? And I always say the same thing. I think you've gotten a bad rep. I think that there are certain things that you've done in your history that I wouldn't personally have done, but I think that so many of them get so blown out of proportion that it kind of it takes on a life of its own, right? And having been in kind of, I don't consider this a ministry, but a lot of people do, in public, ministry, I see how people twist situations and your words and things to make you look as bad as possible. I see how easy it is for people to do it. I can qualify things as many times as I want. I can try to say things in as careful as a way as I want. Sometimes I don't say it carefully, but sometimes I do. And it's very easy for people to twist a situation completely 180 degrees to make you look the opposite of the way you actually are. It's also very easy for people to take, some of your most aggressive moments and say, well, I just picked a few moments. I could have picked hundreds and thousands of moments, and this is just how it all is. And people don't check because, why would they? And they just, accept the liar's word on it, and it's just really not the case. And so they say, see, you're always like this, when really in actuality, you're not always like this. And even if you were on video often like that, that's only like, 20 minutes out of your day, any given day at most. And so it's very easy for people to say, well, he's just like that and not know you at all. And so, and I've said this many times on my YouTube channel, that you'd be stupid to think that JD is aggressive with his own flock in the same way he's aggressive with wolves. Like, that's really stupid. In fact, I've often said, like, the example of Christ is that he's brutal and aggressive with the wolves, the leadership that's horrible, that's leading the people astray, and he's gentle and patient with the flock. And I have no reason to believe that Jordan would be any different with his own flock. I just don't think that his own flock his congregation would tolerate that if he was just like ripping apart grandmothers when they struggled with, understanding whatever it was. Like, it's silly to think that way, but a lot of people want to spin it to make it seem that way. And so all this to say is that over the last few years, I've had a number of conversations about you, Jordan, and you may not get, all of these people coming to you and being like on your side now and stuff like that. But just know that you're appreciated by a lot of people, and a lot of people secretly appreciate you, and they don't want anyone to know about it because you know the wrath that comes down upon anyone who speaks positively about you in any way. And so I'm more than willing to accept that wrath, no problem at all. But I've had these conversations, and I always say the same thing, that I think that you're a force for good. I think you're on the side of the angels. I think that that you've done a lot of the real hard work, right? A lot of the real hard work that makes it easier for a guy like me to continue to make the kind of videos that I do. Again, do I agree with everything you've ever done? Of course not. I mean, obviously, you don't agree with everything I've ever done, and you've made that abundantly clear to me in the past. But God bless you, sir. God bless you. I'm glad you're kind of finding your way into this next phase of your life and all of that. I also, want to point out the section of this article where he talks about some of the things that he regrets. He does talk about sometimes feeling like maybe he was meaner than he should have been, and things of that nature. And that happens. And so I'm very glad to see that that you can admit that. And I didn't think you wouldn't. So I don't mean to make it sound that way, but your press, according to the press, you would never admit such a thing. You can't ever admit being wrong, according to the press. Obviously, I know that's not true, and that's not true in personal exchanges I've had with you. You've never had a problem admitting something that, as far as I know, that kind of thing. So there's that, and a lot of the people that I end up having these conversations with, they cite your beef with James White. And in this article, you say that's one of your regrets, and that was nice to read. It really was, Anyway, so God bless you. I hope that the filling sandbags and the digging moats goes well. I can't say I share your negative outlook on the situation. However, if I wasn't committed to an eschatology of optimism, I probably would share your outlook on the situation, because it certainly seems by all measurable ways that wokeness is winning. It certainly seems that way. I think that there are some chinks in the armor, and obviously I've been talking about that for a while, and I'm still going to go after that and hammer at those chinks in the armor. So I don't share every sentiment in this article, but I totally respect where you're coming from. Like I said, God bless you. And just as an encouragement to you, Jordan, there are a lot of people, and I know you see the analytics, so you know this, but just from an anecdotal perspective as well, there are a lot of people that get so much value out of the stuff that you've put forward, and they either like you secretly and appreciate your work secretly, or they're starting to ask questions. It's like, yeah, man, I've heard this guy is the devil, but it doesn't really seem like he is. What do you think, AD? And so, anyway, I feel like I'm rambling now, but very grateful for all of your hard work. Thank you again. And obviously, if there's ever anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to reach out. God bless you, sir. Take care of yourself and your family. God bless.